Hello, today I am going to be sharing my curriculum picks for my second grader. Hi, I am Rachel from 7 in All. I am a second generation homeschooler and a mom to 3 young boys. These are going to be my second grade curriculum picks for the upcoming 2025 to 2026 school year. Now, I always like to give a disclaimer at the beginning of these that I am a lifelong homeschooler, so I am not the kind of person who is just starting out a brand new school year in August with a brand new untouched stack of books. No, in reality, some of these books we will be starting this spring as he's finishing older levels. We just roll into a new level when we finish the old one, so I don't have one set time of year when we start everything, but roughly all of this will be started between now and August. A second disclaimer. Realize that when I say these are my second grade curriculum picks for my upcoming second grader, this means these are my picks for him specifically. These are not my recommendations for all second graders, and this is not me saying that all second graders should be working at this level in these specific subjects. These are my specific picks to fit this specific student and my homeschool. I do have a maximalist homeschool style. I am not the kind of person who has a goal to finish school in half an hour or an hour a day. I say that we do nerdy homeschooling here on this channel, and that is exactly what we do. I'm a nerd. I embrace that. We really like academics, so don't be alarmed if this sounds like a lot. It probably would be a lot. This is a kid who can gobble stuff up for the most part, so I'm not the kind of person who tends to plan a lot and we only get half of it done. This tends to be a situation where I plan a lot and we'll be done with it 3/4 through the year, and I'm still wondering what else, what do I do next? That tends to be more of the rhythm that has happened so far. Every year, we adapt and we change a little bit. So I have learned from this child, so I've probably planned a little bit more for this year. So let's start off with math. What is the math plan for my second grader? Now, I thought that I was very confidently going to say that we're going to be using third grade math with confidence this upcoming year. But he finished his second grade math with confidence, and then he started third grade math with confidence back in November of his first grade year. So we have already started this. Where is that? We've already started this about 6 or 7 weeks into using this. And at this point, I'm going to assume that we're probably going to finish this up by roughly the end of this school year and be starting 4th grade math with confidence by August. However, I was not that far prepared in advance. I own 4th grade math with confidence, but it is in the USA. So I have to figure out a way to get it between now and then. I want to apologize if you hear noise intermittently throughout my videos. There's construction going on a couple streets away that seems, I can hear it, maybe you guys can hear it too. Sorry about that. In addition, for math, we will also be using Beast Academy. I added Beast Academy level 2 this past year for his school, and it has been a very good addition for him. He is very strong in math. That I would say is his strong suit, is his passion right now, very interested in numbers. So we've been working through Beast Academy level 2. We're getting closer to the end of that, and sometime, I'm guessing late spring, we'll be able to pick up with Beast Academy 3. Yes, he has worked through math with confidence faster than he has worked through Beast Academy. I think anyone who is familiar with the two curriculums will understand why. While the content and concepts covered are similar, the level of challenge in the practice problems is significantly different between these two curriculums. The problems that they offer in Beast Academy are much more challenging. So for my son, who is very math-minded and very skilled with math, this has been an excellent addition for him. So this will be the next level we are going into. So we'll be starting this up whenever we finish level 2. Just roll into this one. Next up is English Language Arts, and English Language Arts does have multiple facets to it, right? So first off, very simply, he has been working through the Explode the Code series. He's in book 4 now. We'll probably be finishing that one up fairly quickly, and then we'll head into 5. I'm guessing we'll get through 6 and 7. And these are just a very simple addition for us. They're just workbooks that he can work through independently. Takes him a couple minutes, but gets him to slow down, pull words apart, put words back together, look at different letter patterns. So these are just a great, easy, independent work for us, a little bit of phonics work for him. Then for spelling, we'll be going into Spelling Connections Level 2. This is one that we will also be starting relatively soon this spring. It's a pretty classic phonics workbook. You have a list of words following a certain pattern. So here it is like sing, ring, king, wink, sink, those type of words. Then you have a couple pages of activities to practice them, and then you get a spelling test at the end of the week. With spelling, this is also something mostly he'll do independently other than the spelling test or me introducing the words or talking about the words with him. Of course, any independent work will be checked right away because there's no point in your kids doing independent work and not having it checked. So he knows he cannot put his books away until I have checked through them. If he gets any mistakes, then I will show the mistakes to him, go over those with him. If he writes sloppy, I will have him erase the work and redo it. So yes, it is done independently, but it is still being turned into me so that I can assess the work that he's doing. For handwriting, we are doing La Escritura, cursive, from Zainer Bloser. So he has been introduced to cursive already, but has not fully mastered it. So this will be more cursive practice, and this is in Spanish. Homeschool Aventuras over on Instagram introduced me to the fact that Zainer Bloser had Spanish editions of their workbooks. And for us as bilingual homeschoolers, this is just a really easy way to get a little bit more Spanish reading and vocabulary in through doing cursive in Spanish. Next up, for language arts, we have First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind, Level 3. This is the first level that involves a student workbook. So there's the teacher guide as well as the student workbook. He started First Language Lessons toward the end of his kindergarten year, and levels 1 and 2 are supposed to take 2 years, but they were in one book in my older edition that I owned, and we've just kind of rolled through them fast enough that I think we're going to be going into level 3 by the time August hits. I've loved this program. They are short, simple lessons. In the first 2 levels, they are mainly oral with a little bit of writing. Here we are going to be leveling up a little bit with very simple worksheets. Diagramming. I am the type that loves diagramming, and I mean, look how easy that diagramming is. Run fast. Peg runs fast. All right, a little bit of dictation. So we've liked First Language Lessons a lot. We're continuing with it on to the next level. Next part of language arts at this level is, of course, reading, continuing to build reading skills. I haven't done any phonics curriculum. I haven't continued with reading curriculum for this year. I've just been having him read to me, and then we have a reading journal where we'll write down any difficult words, talk about them, write short summaries of what he reads, have him do some copy work. I have spoken about the reading journal approach in other videos, so I can link to that video. But we're going to be continuing with that. My plan is just having him read aloud. I don't yet feel confident with having him just go off and read independently. He still definitely needs the practice of reading aloud to me, making sure he's not guessing at words or skipping words, but really building those good habits of reading and paying attention to what you read. So this year he has read through the Sunlight second grade readers, and we finished those. My mom did not already own the Sunlight third grade readers. Otherwise, I probably would have just gone straight to those, but we didn't have a way to get them here right now. So I've just been pulling other books off of her shelf. She has some of these Usborne simple readers that, hey, they work. Usborne Young Reading Series. So this is like a Robin Hood one. This is the level he's at right now. So it's not like real chapter books where it's just a page full of text. Very small. I think that would be pretty intimidating to him right now. This is kind of a comfortable level that will still stretch him with some unfamiliar words. So this is what we're doing right now, is just going through these. I would say this is an area where I don't have a super clear idea with what exactly we're going to do in official second grade. Right now, just continuing this, pulling books that are at a good level for him off of my mom's shelf. Maybe I will go ahead and get the 3rd grade Sunlight readers for him next, or maybe I will find some other books or continue with books plus a reading journal. If you guys have something that you love for 2nd grade readers who are like, they can read pretty well, but they don't really have the endurance or the stamina for real full chapter books with small text yet, let me know what you like to use for this kind of in-between level of reading, because I do have some time and might have the opportunity to acquire some new resources before we hit August and official 2nd grade. All right, on to Spanish. We are a bilingual homeschooling family, so we do quite a bit of Spanish. It's not my dominant language by any means, but I am learning a lot right alongside my children. So this past year we have integrated homeschool languages, and we are right in the middle of Spanish 2 from homeschool languages right now. I think we are going to finish this well before actual 2nd grade starts. Maybe I will run right back through it and just keep doing drills with verbs and with translation, because I have seen a lot of benefit in really just doing kind of some oral drills, oral translation challenges of, hey, I'm going to tell you a sentence in English, you say it back to me in Spanish. That challenges them and works their brains quite a bit. I do think Homeschool Languages is going to come out with the Spanish 3 at some point, but I don't know when that will be. So right now my idea is that when we finish Spanish 2, which is part of our combined morning time right now, I will just move into reading Spanish picture books off my shelf, trying to discuss those, challenging with them with the vocab in those. So in 2nd grade, my son will be using Llamitas Nivel 3, which here's the workbook, vocabulary. They have different themed vocabulary opportunities to start writing in Spanish. This is really learning vocabulary that goes way beyond just conversational Spanish. So I do like that it's really expanding vocabulary into areas that we aren't using every day to try to enrich the language that he has. This goes along with this Antología de Cuentos y Leyendas, and they have really in-depth lessons that go along with each legend that you're reading here. You have multiple lessons where you're getting into them, sequencing them, having to write about them, doing different literary activities with them. So I really like this. I'm excited. This is going to challenge him. And it also comes with some little reader books. I do have a video all about this Llamitas course on my channel. If you have any questions, you can find that video, and I'm also going to be linking to all these resources down in the description below so that you can find out more about them on their website. Now, in addition, for Spanish, a real big focus is I want to get him to a point where he's reading fluently in Spanish. We've made a lot of progress in the 1st grade year. We're continuing to make progress, and we will be continuing that in 2nd grade. So I developed this together with my husband. This is Trabajando con Palabras. He's currently working through 1. Pretty soon we're going to be ready to head to volumen 2, volume 2. And this is kind of like, I would say, Explode the Code, but for Spanish. Similar type of idea of breaking words apart, putting them together, breaking the syllables apart. So really, this is getting into more advanced syllables than the 1st level did. So we have, these are the types of syllables that we're working on in this book. So he'll be working through this. And as he's been working through Trabajando con Palabras, I've been having him read through some of these very easy level readers that don't have a lot of words on a page. This type of reader. And this has been going really well. And these readers, I've been having him read through them, read a different one, then go back and read the same reader again. For one, because I don't have an endless quantity of readers in Spanish. At this stage, I have relatively few, so yep, we're gonna go back and read it again. But also because that really can build fluency. You don't just need to read this one time. You can come back in a couple weeks and read that again. So I have several at a similar level. That's what we've been using now. But by the time we are done or getting close to the end of Trabajando con Palabras, then I think he'll have a lot more confidence and ability to get into some books that I bought a while ago, but we just haven't gotten to that level yet, like the Narval y Medu series, which I have a number here. These are graphic novels, so there's not a lot of text on a page, small amount of text, but some of the words are a little bit silly or a little bit long. Super habilidad, super poder, puedes volverte invisible. So the words themselves have just been a little bit too hard for him up until now, but I do think we're getting really close to where we can handle these, and I think he'll really like these. Then once we get through the Narval books, I think he'll be a lot more confident and ready to handle like the Rafi Rossi books, which are like a typical early reader, but they do have a good amount of text and a good amount of vocabulary. And then also I have like 2 of the Mercy Watson books, which you can see, yeah, that's a good amount of text on a page. So in English, he could handle this, no problem right now, but Spanish, his reading level is not on the same level, so we're just keep working to get there, to build fluency, build confidence, to handle the Spanish reading. Next up, science. Now, we have enjoyed Sunlight Science K and Sunlight Science A, so it's probably no surprise. We are heading right into Sunlight Science B, Matter, Ecosystems, Earth Systems, and Engineering Design. We have really enjoyed the early elementary Sunlight Sciences. They have just fun books you get to read, go through. This one is going to have coding for beginners, Usborne World of Animals. There's quite a few. I didn't pull them all out. We have Marie Curie Search for Radium, so you always get like one biography of a scientist, which I really like that edition. So we're going to continue with that, and alongside Sunlight, I have usually liked to do some themed science because Sunlight is more of a broad overview of science, and I like that. I like that we're getting to touch a little bit on a variety of topics and kind of get that broad view. But he really enjoys science, so I've also liked to bring in a science that focuses more on one specific topic. This year, I'm not 100% sure yet what that will be because I haven't fully acquired it yet. I do have Gentle and Classical's Agricultural Science, which I do have a couple of these books on my shelf, a couple of the books required. It's a literature-based science that's focused on just learning about agriculture, plants and farms and animals, raising animals for food, photosynthesis. I have a couple of these books already, and I'm very much leaning toward using this. I had thought I was going to wait until he was in 3rd grade and his little brother was in 1st grade. So I'm still a little bit up in the air, but I'm thinking that we might start this once he officially starts 2nd grade. And this has a student book and literature to go with it, and you just are focusing on a certain theme. So you might be focusing on poultry farming, and you just kind of, that's your theme for 2 weeks, and you read some books and you do some work in the student guide. We used the first 2 volumes of Gentle and Classical Nature already when he was younger. We loved those. So this is what I'm leaning towards doing this year. We'll do it at some point for sure. Next up is Chinese. Now, in 1st grade, we started incorporating Chinese as a 3rd language to some extent. I'm not trying to take it nearly as intensely as we do with Spanish, which is their heritage language, but I did want to introduce a 3rd language and just start gently exploring another way to read and write, another way to speak, and another language from our world. Mandarin Chinese is one of the languages that is spoken locally where we live, and I did study Mandarin Chinese for quite a few years myself in college. So we're using Chinese Made Easy for Kids. We've started with textbook 1. We're a couple lessons into it, taking our time, doing a lot of review. With children learning foreign languages, do not underestimate the amount of review that is necessary for them to really master it. So this has a nice, colorful textbook, little activities throughout. I believe there is a teacher's guide. I don't have the teacher's guide. I'm just kind of looking at this and just writing stuff on the whiteboard and doing my own lessons, teaching how to remember this character Jiao or different things like that. And then there is also a workbook, which the workbook does give a really nice amount of practice. Right here you can see you're practicing writing characters, getting the basic ideas, and I also did get some beginner Chinese readers that were local. I don't have them here though to show you right now, but we're doing this for our Chinese. And at first I struggled with how to fit a third language into the day, but I tied it into a routine. We are doing this immediately after our science lesson for just maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes, short, little incremental Chinese lessons, laying a foundation of another way to speak. Next up is our core subjects, history, Bible, literature type subjects, and that will be coming from ancient world history. We are going to be diving into learning all about the ancient world this next year, and this is a curriculum that I created together with my mom and my sisters. Now, this ancient history curriculum was really birthed out of the realization that there did not exist much when it came to a literature-based ancient history curriculum for elementary students, especially one that truly included the ancient world. And by that I mean not just Mesopotamia, Egypt, Rome, and Greece. I wanted a curriculum that would really cover a lot more of the whole world, because there was stuff happening during ancient times in South America and different continents in Asia. So that is what we spent months creating. I would not necessarily say that I would recommend deciding to create your whole curriculum from scratch. It's a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work. Thank you to those who also spurred me on in this idea and kept bugging me about this idea of an ancient world history curriculum for elementary students, because I absolutely love what we have put together and I'm so excited to use this for my second grader. So this is going to be a weekly grid of readings that you do. So this includes Bible, so we'll be learning the book of Psalms throughout the year. It includes ancient history and geography. We'll be going through spine books as well as picture books. So we're using the Amazing Ancient World Atlas. We will be going through just part of the Kingfisher History Encyclopedia, because this is a really big book covering multiple time periods. But then what is going to be so fun with elementary kids is we have picture books from ancient history. The Last Quest of Gilgamesh, Escape from Pompeii. We have Demi's biography of Confucius. Archaeologists dig for clues. Cleopatra. We have Alexander the Great. We have the 7 wonders of the ancient world. We have a rich, rich feast of books to read, but it's not just books to read. We also have a student activity book, which will have map work, quizzes, and just a wide variety of activities about the mythological creatures you're reading about, the coins of ancient times. We have a maze. We've got a lot going on in this activity book. I think this really helps bring it to life. Then in addition to the student activity book, in this course, students are instructed to once a week have history notebooking time based on what they've learned about. And you can, of course, just use a 99-cent notebook from Walmart. That's what I do the majority of times. But I did decide to get the very cute and eye-catching history notebook that was created by my friend Megan over at School Nest. You can buy her notebooks on Amazon. They're a little bit pricier than a Walmart notebook, but this is really the beginning of diving into history, like a whole history cycle with my oldest. So I did want to say, hey, okay, I think he can handle having a nice notebook. Let's get one. So it's got space for pictures and lines, space and a grid, and we'll just be doing notebooking of the big ideas throughout this course. So that would be our history. That's our history, Bible, literature. Then for the riches subjects, which we have included this past year, and I've really loved diving into that. And starting to learn hymns with my boys has been one of the most special things. So I do want to continue with morning virtues, and I already have several issues from Gentle and Classical. Now, I don't do every element of morning virtues. I think some of them would be more suited to older kids. So the main 4 riches subjects we are getting from the morning virtues is hymn and folk song, composer, as well as art. So this is the Japanese, in this issue it's the Japanese art of ukiyo-e. We have a jazz composer as well as a hymn and a folk song, which I don't know what they are in this one because it's all wrapped up. But the theme is attentiveness. So we'll be going through a few of those issues. They have printed out papers that you're sliding into a menu, or in my case, just a binder with page protectors. And we just sing them and sing our hymn until we've mastered it. Roughly about 6 weeks this past year. I don't know if we will continue at the same pace. We'll see. We'll see how that goes with mastering our hymns. I also had purchased these On Mission magazines from Gentle and Classical, a few of these. In my mind, I was originally going to be doing sequence 2 this year because we did sequence 1 this past year and we really enjoyed that, but sequence 2 does not exist in time to do it this year anyway. So we're going to have a blast diving into ancient history, but I did want to fit in some of these beautiful Gentle and Classical resources. And we really love the On Mission magazines from this past year. So my plan is to continue doing that. What we did for first grade is we're just reading a little bit from it one day a week and just slowly going through the magazine. And that's my plan to continue. This just goes into my oldest book stack, and on Fridays we do our world geography. Yes, our ancient world history course includes a lot of geography, but it is much more focused on the ancient world, and since we do enjoy these magazines, since I have them, to me, I might as well continue just reading them to him slowly throughout the year. You can probably tell I'm not the kind of person that worries, oh, we're doing 2 resources that incorporate geography. Oh no, that's too much. No, that's not something I really worry about. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this Curriculum Picks video. Open up the description for all the helpful links that I will leave to you down there to find different resources that I mentioned. There will also be timestamps because I'm sure this is a long video. And leave me any questions or comments that you have down below. You can also share with me what are some of your plans or ideas as you're thinking about 2nd grade. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.